Good afternoon, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. I hope you're all warmer than we are here in New Jersey. Today we have our monthly webinar a day early, as you know, and thank you for accommodating us. The subject is what you need to know about Energy Star. Energy Star, for most, is just a certification or not. You know, the tech department here at MaxLite gets a good amount of calls every month just with the simple question, model number XYZ, is it Energy Star or is it not? And we thought we would share with you really what Energy Star is for, how it came about, and most importantly, how it has affected the evolution of the MaxLite product line. We'll talk about Energy Star and its history, the CSD list, which is a separate Energy Star list, and we'll talk about that subcomponent database, how it is different from the, let's say, stock and flow Energy Star products, and again, Energy Star and its influence on the MaxLite product line. So a lot of people don't realize this, but Energy Star is a EPA program. It's a voluntary program that helps businesses and individuals like you and I to save money, protect the climate, and more or less save energy. The Energy Star program was established in 1992, and basically it is to conduct a basic engineering research and technology program to develop, evaluate, and demonstrate non-regulatory strategies and technologies for reducing air pollution. So I was introduced to Energy Star with the CFL movement. About 30 years ago, CFL started becoming pretty regularly available and was an option for mostly the commercial industrial sector, but some residential programs existed at that time. Energy Star came about 10 years later, and what it did was it brought a minimum requirement. It showed everyone that not all CFLs were the same. I'm proud to say MaxLite was amongst the first to have an Energy Star rated CFL. And we tried to maintain that high bar that Energy Star continues to raise as it does its core mission, which is engineering research and technology. And it shows where the technologies actually can be, and it pushes the requirement to carry the Energy Star logo to that limit. We'll talk more about how to certify the product a bit later. In 2005, Congress enacted the Energy Policy Act, and this established at the Department of Energy and the Department of Environmental Protection a voluntary program to identify and promote energy-efficient products. So just like I talked about with the CFLs, in 2005, the Energy Star logo started coming into our space. Now, the integrity of the Energy Star products, as I said earlier, it's not just filling out some paperwork or just self-certifying, but to maintain consumer trust and to improve the oversight of the Energy Star certified products, homes, and commercial facilities, EPA has implemented third-party certification requirements and testing. Now, I will say that from early on, not all products, not all Energy Star product categories required third-party certification, but the lighting portion, the CFL portion of the Energy Star program, has always required third-party certification. And let me talk about those third-party labs. It's not just any lab that you can go and have your bulb tested and send the results off to the Energy Star folks, but it had to be a certified lab, of which at the time there was only a handful on Earth. So, these were third-party labs that were certified to be independent and, frankly, honest and trustworthy. So us in the light bulb business, we've been accustomed to this third-party certifying from the very beginning, where other segments of the Energy Star program, maybe windows or refrigerators, they encompass a whole host of products and buildings and facilities. They came later, those third-party tests. In addition to third-party testing, in other words, verification of your claims, but there was also off-the-shelf verification testing each year. I had personally belonged to a committee at one time which decided which products would be off-the-shelf selected. And it's a pretty rigorous process. It doesn't allow for, let's say, competitors to point the finger at each other. It was based on feedback from the population. It was partly involved complaints that came in, partly involved specifications that were extremely hard to imagine were actually so. So the off-the-shelf verification testing program has been around for a decade or more now. And what they do is they actually go out, buy those select models. They buy them from more than one retailer and generally in different regions of the country, send them to a third-party lab to be tested, and then those test results are held up against the original third-party certification to see if these products are still holding up to their advertised performance. So the integrity of Energy Star is really some of the best in the industry. You know that when you're reading an Energy Star lighting product label, that you are getting what it says you are getting. Without Energy Star, there is no real police for how products are marketed and performance claims. So when it comes to lighting products, you never know what you're getting if it doesn't have the Energy Star mark. So a little bit about a partnership and a market impact of Energy Star. There's over 18,000 partners across all the sectors of the economy. As I mentioned earlier, it's far from just lighting, but it's a whole host of appliances and things. The Energy Star program's success from manufacturers and trade associations to retailers, efficiency program providers, home builders, small businesses. Energy Star has grown to represent products in more than 65 different categories with more than 4.5 billion sold over the past 20 years since the program has been in place. So 4.5 billion Energy Star products sold. That is quite impressive. If this was a private brand, think of the success that would be. EPA has evolved the Energy Star program to serve as a national platform and a catalyst to deliver real energy efficiency by addressing market barriers. I can give some examples to push the technology along. The federal government, including the EPA and the Department of Energy, had the L Prize Award out there, which put extremely past the bleeding edge technology, put a very high bar, really a challenge out there. If anybody can meet this specification, we'll give a reward. And the reward was in the millions. I believe it was $5 million for the L Prize, which was successfully achieved by Philips, who was the first to do it, and they received that L Prize money. Without that L Prize money, one can't be sure that the R&D that went into pushing that technology ahead would have happened. And maybe LED technology wouldn't be as far along as it is today. Let's jump to a different segment of the Energy Star program that not a lot of people are familiar with, and it's known as the CSD, or the Certified Lighting Subcomponent Database. So let's talk about what that is. And we invited a lot of our OEM customers and representatives to join us, and this is important for them and anyone who services lighting OEM companies. All right, so the CSD supports qualification of Energy Star luminaires by providing certified performance data for lighting subcomponents. The use of the CSD is optional for luminaire manufacturers. It is intended to streamline the qualification process. Subcomponents are not required to be listed on the CSD to be employed in the Energy Star qualified luminaire. So let me button that up for you. So if I'm a fixture manufacturer, a lighting fixture manufacturer, and I want to now have Energy Star logos on my product, well, I can start from the beginning and hire those engineers. And, before maybe I just put a couple of sockets in my fixture, pretty low tech, but now I'm going to have, say, LED as an example. I'm going to have drivers. I'm going to have LED chips. I have to worry about thermal conditions and heat sinking and all these things. Or I can buy a light engine that's already on the CSD list and has already been through the process of third-party verification, testing, and so on. By employing that already existing CSD light engine to my fixture, it is a short path to getting Energy Star certification for that fixture. The CSD is designed to contain certified performance data for lamps, ballasts, fluorescent lamp ballast platforms or combinations, GU24 self-ballasted, compact fluorescents, HIDs, and now GU24-based LED lamps and LED light engines. The CSD is similar in purpose and function as the NEMA or the ALA lamp and ballast platform matrix. It actually provides the same type of information. Here's a bunch of stuff that's already been tested, it's already been proven. Hey, if you can use these parts, it's a short path towards getting these products in the market with the certifications that you're looking for. Of late, LED arrays, modules, LED drivers, power supplies, they will not be individually listed in the database, as no industry standard methods of measuring currently exist for measuring the performance of LED drivers. But the arrays themselves, the LEDs themselves, what we call the light engine, is available on the CSD list. Performance for subcomponents listed on the list on the CSD has been certified to meet relevant requirements for use in the Energy Star qualified luminaire. So it's kind of pre-tested. Subcomponents in the database are not Energy Star qualified as a result of being listed. In other words, I can't put the Energy Star logo on a subcomponent, but it contributes towards getting the Energy Star logo on your product. Now, there are some exceptions to that, and that's the GU24 integrated lamp. As a matter of fact, we'll talk more about it in a little bit, but MaxLite now has a Energy Star rated torch-here using an LED light engine. We are the first to have an LED torch-here on the Energy Star list. And we also have MaxLite has our GU24 omnidirectional LED lamps. They are on the CSD, and they are also Energy Star alone. So today we have an Energy Star bulb that is also on the CSD list. And that's how we were able to get our Torchier quickly Energy Star listed, by taking that light engine, or our omnidirectional GU24 based light engine, and using it from the CSD list in the new fixture. CBs could submit certified product performance data to the EPA for listing on the CSD. CBs must review the subcomponent data with the CSD when reviewing the luminaire or certification to determine if it meets the requirements. The lifetime testing, which I'll tell you is the longest period, they have an accelerated life test. It is a rigorous test, and that alone, I personally believe, is a higher bar than most of the other tests that we have in the industry for evaluating life performance. In order to be on the subcomponent list, the CB shall ensure that all subcomponents listed in the database may meet the following requirements. Transient protection testing, this is inherent for everything. Obviously, the electrical safety is tested by OSHA. Electromagnetic and radio frequency, that's the FCC certification. Lighting toxins reduction. In MaxLite's case, we are RoHS compliant on all of our products, which takes care of the lighting toxins reduction, and labeling language for mercury content, which obviously applies to the fluorescent. And that's now a requirement how much mercury is used. And then, of course, the warranty. So all of these things besides the testing is required. So again, a very high bar. A quick look at the differences between Energy Star lists and the CSD list. If you look on the left, you have the Energy Star qualified product. You have the EPA certified for use in an Energy Star luminaire, which is the CSD list. So on the left, you have the screw-based, the CFLs and LED lamps. On the right, you have GU24-based lamps. The next row down, specifications that must be met. On the Energy Star lamps, you have the latest revision, which is required, and on the luminaires or on the CSD list, they have a separate standard and specification altogether and completely. The market target for Energy Star is retail consumer, and for the CSD, it's manufacturers of lighting products. And can the product show the Energy Star mark? For Energy Star, yes. For CSD, no. And remember, now with GU24 base, it can be on both lists, in which case it can carry the mark. Additionally, the warranty. For Energy Star products, it's 2 to 3 years, and for CSD, it's a minimum of 3 years. Minimum efficiency for the Energy Star for products less than 15 watts is 55 lumens per watt. Greater than 15 watts, it's 65 lumens per watt. The CSD list, 65 lumens per watt at any wattage. So again, a higher bar. There's also a lumen output requirement for each that's more or less meets up. And the photometric data. Energy Star requires LM79, and the CSD requires LM82, which is an output as a function of the temperature. So as you can see, they have different agendas, different ways for testing, and different testing requirements in different markets. So Energy Star is more than just the bulbs that you see on the shelf, but behind the scenes, they have a big contributor to the advancement of the lighting technologies. Let's spend just a little bit of time talking about the influence that Energy Star has had on MaxLite. MaxLite was the first in the CSD list to have a GU24 LED enclosed rated LED lamp. This is a high bar. There are many fixture manufacturers who would love to have a product like this. And there's also a lot of distributors who would like to have a product like this, but it was driven to meet the CSD standards, which means it comes out of the gate as a very high-quality product. We've already been informed that it has met the testing. There's some formalities. In the next 2 weeks or so, we'll be on the CSD list, certainly by the end of the year. I'm not sure if the holidays have an impact on the lead time. Kudos to Ken Charton, who is the product manager for this particular category. And for those of you interested in this product with both the GU24 and Edison screw base, talk to your sales manager. MaxLite, one of the industry's first certified 100-watt equivalent LED omnidirectional lamp. That was this year. In this past August, we have a 17-watt omnidirectional screw-in and GU24-based LED lamp that is both Energy Star approved and on the CSD list. Over 1,600 lumens. There's really no need for incandescent bulbs anymore. Speaking of incandescent bulbs, I'd like to share with you something that is just a proposal phase right now. This is a scoop for you. This is not a rule. but it's a proposal. Anyone interested, I could give you more details. But the reason that Energy Star doesn't allow residential fixtures to have regular, everyday screw-in Edison sockets is because of a fear that they call snapback. If they allow somebody to package 2 CFLs or 2 screw-in LEDs with a fixture that has regular Edison sockets, they're afraid that they'll remove the CFLs or the LEDs and put incandescent in. And utilities certainly don't want to fund using incandescent bulbs. But these days, here's the scoop. There's a proposal by the EPA to change the luminaire specification to allow any certified screw-based lamp to be included with the fixture. And the fixture could be certified as well. So in other words, if this proposal was passed, we would begin to see fixtures with Edison sockets with the Energy Star logo. The reason that this, I'm assuming, the reason that they're considering, the reason that this proposal has come forth is because, well, the incandescent bulb is on its way out. They're hard to get. There's laws in place that have banned them or have them on a schedule to be banned. People are voluntarily now paying full price for CFLs and LEDs because they understand the nature of the energy savings. And with products like a 17-watt omnidirectional that you're going to get a minimum of 25,000 hours out of, with a full 1,600 lumens omnidirectional, I mean, there's just no reason for incandescent anymore. So hence that scoop for you. We'll keep you posted if that happens, and that will change things in the market and certainly make becoming an Energy Star partner even simpler process. You should also know that MaxLite was one of the first, and I believe still today, the only GU24 LED reflector lamp on the CSD list. So we're very proud of that as well. Obviously, if you're a can manufacturer and you want to put an Energy Star logo on your can, just buy MaxLite's GU24 LED BR lamp, put it in the box with your fixture, and it's Energy Star. MaxLite is the most CSD-listed LED products in the industry. As of right now, we have 16 GU24 lamps, 6 LED light engines on the CSD currently, and our product managers are working hard for the next generation and for additional products. FYI, MaxLite has expanded our GU24 CFL offering. We have added 4 new GU24 base bulbs in 3,000 Kelvin to the CSD list. We have a 3,000 CCT option, and these come in 13, 18, 23, and 27 watts. So that line has really expanded. Now, the penetration of GU24 lamps into electrical distribution market has also greatly expanded. I would say exploded. And this is probably due to the fact that some of the original GU24 fixtures that went out there about 6-8 years ago, those bulbs are beginning to fail, and replacement bulbs are being sought. MaxLite has the industry's first certified LED torchier. I kind of spoiled that for you earlier, but it was simply done by taking off the CSD list the MaxLite 12-watt omnidirectional LED GU24 base lamp, putting it in the fixture and submitting it. So when I say you take a product off the CSD list, put it in your luminaire, and boom, you've got Energy Star, that's not quite so. There's actually some thermal testing that has to be done to make sure that the light engine and the luminaire are compatible. But it's quick testing, not that expensive, and there's a lot of labs that can conduct those thermal tests, so it happens relatively quickly. And for those of you who participated in the CFL torchier explosion of a decade ago or so, time for another explosion with LED. MaxLite's participation in product spec development efforts. I mentioned earlier that I was on a committee with MaxLite. I've actually been on several. MaxLite continues to assist the EPA in product spec development efforts in a number of ways. We have a team of engineers, some of which work directly on some of the following. This includes EPA with a proposal for AC LED modules without heat sinks, a procedure for inclusion of a new AC LED module in luminaire certification efforts. Additionally, MaxLite attended and participated in the working session during the 2014 Energy Star Partners meeting in helping develop luminaire version 2.0 specifications. And, it's easy for us to say we participated. Lots of people participated, but what's surprising is how many people who don't participate. All the Energy Star partners have a voice in these processes, and it's remarkable to me how many choose not to participate. Folks, that concludes our time together today, but before you run, a quick couple of commercials. One is for university.maxlite.com. I see actually who have joined us today are a couple of graduates, so kudos to you. I see you all there. And today we have over 100 students. We have about a dozen or so signing on every month, and we have about a dozen or so graduates every month. So this is not advertised on the web anywhere. It's only word of mouth, and it's really taken off. Anywhere from university students to really some lighting legends have participated. So thank you all very much for that. Remember that we can do these types of presentations for you and your staff or your customers and their staff. If there's any way we can help you by providing a web-based training session, we require 5 people or more, and we can customize the presentation to what you're looking for. Remember, we have Joe Pater and his team, or MaxLite's utility rebate services people, and they are there to help you and your customers get those rebate dollars. So anything we can do to assist, call on Joe. Treat Joe and I like unpaid employees of yours. What can we do to help you in your business? Thanks again for joining. We really, really appreciate it. For those of you who join us regularly, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. Bye-bye.